Hello there gamers, I'm Respawn Rossco with the Respawn Rants this week, and it's an MGL Mix video special day as ever. We've got loads of videos for you on mygameslounge.com, check them out. We're looking ahead to a crazy week of gaming with Halo 5 launching and a fair few other bits around it, but Halo's pretty much going to dominate the entire week as far as gaming's concerned. Now, this should be releasing on Monday evening, so on Halo, chances are the embargo will lift at some point on the reviews today. So if you click on the link to this, you'll be able to see what the kind of amalgamation of the main site's reviews are. We're working on ours, but it's obviously going to take a little bit longer since those cheeky boys get them a touch earlier than we do. But I'm actually going to shift focus a little bit. I will bring Microsoft into this, but as you can probably tell from the title, I'm looking at Sony and I'm looking at PlayStation coming to the Paris Games Week. Now, a while back, and I've linked the article in the video and I've linked it on my Games Lounge as well, I did a very unpopular article which said Sony dropped the ball by not showing up to Gamescom. And I've sat and I've thought about it, and loads of people have said, oh, they were logical to do it, blah, blah. I still maintain, as a huge Sony person, I would describe myself as a gaming fan. I've had all the Xbox consoles, all the PlayStation consoles, but I tend to prefer the PlayStation exclusives simply because they're more my take on games. So when it comes to PlayStation, I'm ready. And I was disappointed they weren't there personally. And when I saw what Xbox were bringing and the amount of exclusive games that they've got dominating the peak of gaming this year, I thought Sony were a bit foolish, for want of a better word, for not going to Gamescom in the sense of giving a presentation. I know they were there, I know they were on the show floor, but when you actually analyse it, the PlayStation 4 generation has had Bloodborne as its greatest game that's new. I don't feel quite like there's been an outstanding genre-defining exclusive release on the PlayStation 4 just yet. A lot of the PlayStation 4 success is actually taken from Microsoft's lessons with the 360 using third parties. I saw an advertisement for PlayStation 4 going into Christmas, and they were highlighting Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, which is fantastic exclusive games, amazing, but they're old, they're remasters. There was Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is a great game. I'm enjoying playing it. There's some impressions on my Games Lounge of my playthrough on that. But that's a third-party tie-in with some added content, as well as the Call of Duty content as well. That they were the main sellers. And obviously the big one that's going to get them through Christmas and is going to get all the Star Wars fans going mad, it is Star Wars Battlefront. Because not only is it looking like it's going to be an excellent game, the PlayStation 4 format's got some, extra content there as well. But that's a lot of third-party success. That's not what I come to PlayStation for as a PlayStation person. I come to PlayStation for exclusive. I want to see innovation and some really, really cool stuff. So, going into Paris Games Week, it's time for Sony to prove to people like me. I'm sure there's more than one person out there that believes that they dropped the ball a little bit after what was a good E3 showing. Again, a lot of third-party stuff and a lot of to-comes, a lot of things coming in 2016, 2017. I want to be convinced. I want them to come out and on Halo Week, this is where the genius could come in. On Halo Week, if they come out and everyone is talking about Sony, at least even if it's just for a few days, you're always going to get the people talking about Halo. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a very, very good game. It's whether it's a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. We're talking very fine margins here with Halo. If Sony come out and blast us with some more Uncharted, with some more of the games that we've already seen, the Horizon Zero Dawn springs to mind. I mean, Robo Dinosaurs, the tribal look to it, the beautiful graphics built on the Killzone engine that was absolutely stunning. And Killzone's a decent, a very good game. In fact, I won't go decent, that's a bit harsh. It's a good game. To see them go to this direction with it, I'm looking forward to seeing this like action RPG game. More, please. More Uncharted, please. But wow us, Sony. You've taken this time to kind of think about all the things that you want to put together between E3 and Paris Games Week, and coming up to the PlayStation Experience, which is, I think, early December. Let's really just smash and just show that on Halo Week, where everyone's going to be all Xbox One focused, which is great for the industry. And I'm really looking forward to playing Halo 5. I've been catching up on the Halo series. I'm not saying that I want the Xbox gamers to kind of be shunned to one side, but I want them to make a bit of a scrap of it, because at the moment it seems like they're quite comfortable to let 2015 drift through to the end and pick things up in 2016 when they've got some more exclusives. I think they seem comfortable. They seem like they're kind of coasting. They've got a huge lead. They've got massive third-party deals. And the last thing I want is for Sony to stop trying. And I don't think they will, but I want them to come out swinging. So what could they do to kind of really make a big noise? Now, we know that Quantic Dream are going to be there. Now, Quantic Dream are obviously a French developer, and they're behind two games that particularly, for me, stand out. One in a bad way. The last one, Beyond Two Souls, just disappointed me, which is strange considering the cast of actors they got in to really do it, but the writing and gameplay just wasn't quite there for me. But then if you go back to the Heavy Rain, the quality of that was outstanding. I loved Heavy Rain. I think I completed every single possible eventuality by going back and making sure that people survived. I had to allow people to die. I went through the entire game trying not to kill anybody, of course, as you do, but there's some really tragic endings to Heavy Rain, and I want a game that really toys with my emotions like that. I didn't get that from Beyond Two Souls, so let's hope they go back to the roots of what made them good. That's another one. Now, there are some rumours that I'm going to kind of go over here, or things that I think myself. So I'm not saying these things are coming, but there is a bit of a speculation that Gran Turismo 7 could be making an appearance. It suggested that it could come out in 2016, so you would think they would show it off before Christmas, and it's a good way to make some noise. There's a huge fan base for Gran Turismo. I would say that, speaking for David Game, who reviewed Forza 6 recently, that he believes Gran Turismo has just been surpassed with the quality that Forza 6 came out with. So perfect time for them to come back and bring it back and say, hi, we're Gran Turismo, remember us? This is what we're bringing to the PlayStation 4 exclusively even. That would be a good one. Now, there's an interesting one to follow up on. We got a thing on Dreams from Media Molecule, which was quite an interesting art style, paint your own dreams. It seemed like a game creation tool taking on a different direction from Project Spark, which the Xbox One's got. So more of that could be good. Sticking with Sony's nice smaller independent developers, No Man's Sky. How much does No Man's Sky just dominate everything? Every time there's any footage whatsoever, no matter what happens, you see a new creature, a new colour of leaf, the entire internet just goes bonkers. And with good reason, because it looks incredible. Now, I want to see something solid on No Man's Sky. If Sony and Hello Games come together at Paris Games Week to say that No Man's Sky will be launching in, February 2016, and there'll be a beta playthrough for selected gamers or open beta at Christmas time, that would be just epic. That would really just get the entire geeky sci-fi Twitter people that love gaming and want to explore the universe, this incredible universe they've created that you literally cannot ever fully explore all of. One person, probably not the entire population, could get around it. It's that big. So yeah, that is another way they can really make a big impact. The other ones are a little bit more speculative. We just don't know. Now, they have promised to announce some new games. Now, they could be announcing new games within series, or they could be announcing completely new IPs, and obviously that's very difficult for me to guess. I've said this before on a few articles on mygameslounge.com. Bend Studio, a British studio not far away from France, we can definitely get across on the nice train that we've got running under the water there. So could we see Ben's studio finally announce this rumoured game? Now, there's lots of speculation that it could be a siphon filter. There's lots of speculation that, oh no, it's not siphon filter. And then people are going, well, you wouldn't say it's a siphon filter, would you? You just kind of deny it until it comes out. So that is one to watch out for. There's another one that seems to keep kind of going under the radar, but it keeps being renewed as an intellectual property, which is Agent. It was signed up by Sony back in the early PlayStation 3 development, and it was never fully released with any details. And it's a Cold War game by Rockstar Games, and it's made here in the UK as well. And as far as I'm aware, development on that is obviously very, very hush-hush, but no one said it's cancelled, it's stopped, so you would assume that they're working on it still. If Rockstar were to make Sony an exclusive game, that would be quite a big impact as well. So they do have a few studios there they can draw on, and they've also got their brands as well. I doubt we will go through the PlayStation 4 for much longer without seeing Kratos make an appearance. I mean, the God of War series, as my partner in crime on mygamesounds.com, the Gav of War, will say, he loves those games. I love those games too. I mean, they pretty much defined the action game because they were just so good on PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 3 version was good. We've just seen the relaunch of God of War 3 on the PlayStation 4 as well. So chances are we're going to see more of Kratos sooner rather than later. And now is the perfect time to bring it up. Now, one thing I'm going to say, and you possibly out there going to have very, very different opinions on this one, and I have mine based on a few little factors. Virtual reality, PlayStation VR. I have got to say, I really, really don't want the entire Paris Game Week stuff dominated by PlayStation VR. I know it's where they're wanting to go. I know it's where all these things people are looking at. But it's just so hard to demo, first of all. How do you show that off on the stage? And Xbox did it with Minecraft and the HoloLens. That was incredible. They did a really good job there. So it's very difficult to show off, though, exactly how just a virtual reality gaming experience is going to be. And I've got to be honest, I don't really care for it. I had to go on an Oculus Rift twice, and twice I was nearly sick. Mainly, I mean, I am terrible. There's the reason why I'm actually revisiting the Halo series is because back in the early 2000s and late 90s, I literally struggled to even play a first-person game because I found that motion of the first-person floatiness too much. After a couple of hours, I would get quite motion sick. And virtual reality, the Oculus Rift on my head, just literally does that compressed in about 2 minutes. I was on Sub-Level Zero, which is a fantastic game to play. But on virtual reality, I just could not play it. It was just, after 2 minutes, I was ripping the Oculus off my eyes because I was going to go. That would have not been good for those Alienware computers, I tell you. So yeah, personally speaking, I hope it's not dominated by VR stuff. I don't know, you gamers out there might be like itching to see VR, but personally speaking, I just want to see some quality games. Now the last one, and I mentioned this before, and I got some crazy looks from the digital people of the world who like to write comments on things, and that's fine, right? As many horrible comments as you want, it's cool. The cat has been let out of the bag somewhat on The Last of Us 2. We've had Nolan North say something. We've had a writer say the first Last of Us. Did I say the first Last of Us? I mean, not the second one. Did I say not the second one? I mean, oh crap, I'll shut up. Yeah, whoops. So, why? The bomb's already gone off, people. If you want to make a big impact, and I'm not saying they'd do this at Paris Games Week, they could save this one for the PlayStation experience if they wanted. But if Sony want to make a really big impact this week, Halo week, yes, they've got Uncharted 4. They've got all kinds of new games they could bring. But even just a 30-second, 20-second teaser for The Last of Us 2 that just shows something, that shows Joel, that shows Ellie, that shows a scene from what's coming up in the second The Last of Us. Now that gamers, that would send shockwaves, and Twitter would be going mad, and that would be well played by Sony, you would say. Now I'm looking forward to Paris Games Week, and we'll be tracking it on mygameslounge.com as well for you. So keep yourselves on mygameslounge.com. I will see you there. Any thoughts you've got on this video, please let me know. I do expect a lot from Sony. They've done a very good job marketing the PlayStation 4, mainly on third-party quality and some good exclusives. But I really want to see these top-level, genre-defying exclusives come. So what do you think about that? Get in touch with us at mygameslounge.com on Twitter or facebook.com/mygameslounge. I will see you there on mygameslounge.com. I've been Respawn Rossco. Goodbye.